Hello one, hello all, welcome to this special Patreon-provided series. This is the prologue or announcement episode. Did I say who I was yet? Hi, I'm CP. You aren't. So over the holiday season, M4 Movies, who's a patron, sent me this book, and it inspired me to expand on this. This book is called Best Movie Year Ever by Brian Rafferty. It's about all the films from 1999. Actually, it says how 1999 blew up the big screen. Before 1999, I think 1982 was often considered one of the biggest years for cinema. But 1999 is near and dear to me, so I'm going to make this series a bit personalized, and not exclusively personalized to me, but this is an open invitation. I've already approached some YouTubers about this. I'll be putting up the films that were released in the time of year they were released on the screen now. And if any of these movies have some sort of special meaning to you and you'd like to be a part of the series, this is an open invitation. I just ask that you provide video. That's it. I would hope your audio quality is good, but beggars and choosers. I'm going to do at least 6 episodes. I think I might do 1 episode per month. I'm not looking, as I shoot this now, I'm not looking at the calendar. I know there's multiple things in May, June, and July, and I'll get to that in a second, why I know that. I'm not even talking about providing a review, just, you could provide a review if you'd like, but just how that movie is important to you. And it's all wrapped around this case of the calendar year 1999. 1999 is tremendously important to me for a myriad of reasons. It has a lot to do with kicking off a lot of what the rest of my life ended up becoming. It was the first summer that I was able to work full-time at the movie theater, and I can't tell you how much fun I had, the camaraderie I had with my fellow employees. There are a bunch of people that I still speak to this day that I met in that summer of '99. I don't have to tell you that 1999 was a busy summer. If you know anything about Star Wars Episode 1, Phantom Menace came out that summer, and that really should be enough. But American Pie ended up being this ridiculous success that nobody saw coming. The Matrix was a big deal, although by the time I was working at the movie theater, The Matrix was on its tailspin. The Blair Witch Project, working that opening weekend, was ridiculous. It was a sensation. I can't explain to you. The way you think of Avengers Endgame now is probably what I can compare it to, but you expected Avengers Endgame to be a big deal. Nobody expected Blair Witch Project to be as big a deal as it was. And we had shows going till 3:30 in the morning on Fridays and Saturdays. That was like every half an hour. There was a midnight show at 12:15, at 12:30, at 12:45, a 1, a 1:30, a 2, a 2:30, and they were selling out. Because asshole teenagers, you guys get drunk before you go to the movies, and a lot of people couldn't handle the way Blair Witch is shot, and well, I'll just say we cleaned up a couple of rounds of puke that weekend. Or that summer, I guess is what I could say. I remember that opening weekend just being a chore. People getting up, being nauseous, throwing up. You didn't really notice that something special was happening as far as cinema was concerned, because, I mean, essentially we're janitors. But there's stuff that went under the radar, like Magnolia. We were the independent theater on Long Island, and we were one of the few places that had Magnolia, and it just didn't get attention. You know, Magnolia is an incredible movie, which I did see. I haven't grown into how much I appreciate Magnolia now. Then there's a lot looking back that I wish I can go back and re-experience that summer. There's a bunch of special things that happened in that summer, and a lot of it I tie to my experience at the theater. You know, me and a bunch of friends in a building, cleaning up, selling retail shit to people who are taking part in what ended up being a special year for cinema. So they just kind of ran parallel. I have reference points to shoot personal stories off of. I know where I was the first Friday Blair Witch came out. I was mopping puke up at around 2 a.m. in the dark. I kind of gave you a bit of a sneak preview of what I plan to do. And like I told you about Blair Witch Project, I'll be certain to do similar stories, and I'll focus a little bit more. It'll be 60-40 personal to the movies, because I'll talk about Phantom Menace and the film itself, and the weird people that went to see Eyes Wide Shut. That's a story in itself. Again, consider this an open invitation to my fellow YouTubers. Again, I've asked a couple of you already, but if this idea turns you on to something, and there's something that's important to you as far as 1999 cinema is concerned, the experience doesn't have to be from 1999. I just need you to associate it to a film. Thank you so much. If you like the idea, please let me know. If you want to be around for the rest of the episodes, be sure to subscribe and click that bell to be notified of when this happens. Once again, thank you to patrons for making this happen. And I've been CP. You haven't.